Good evening, Toronto, and welcome to MaxF Show. Once again, a new episode and definitely new conversations and new discussions on Australia versus India series, the fourth test match, and definitely we also want to touch base England versus Sri Lanka series as well. So yesterday we had a good chit chat session, but again, I think yesterday both test matches impacted by rain, and I think the one-sided England and Sri Lanka test match going along. But definitely we have some good guests and analysts as well in our panel today. So definitely we will enjoy our show. Before I start my show, I would like to introduce with my sponsors. My first sponsor for my tonight's show is RSAC Sports. They are currently based in GTA. If you want any sports equipment or if you want to buy any uniform or helmets, especially for cricket, please contact RSAC Sports 647 461 3110. And you can also email him info@rsacsports.com. RSAC Sports is currently owned by Sultan Khan, so please do contact him and you can give sports trend reference as well. My second sponsor for tonight's show is Fazan Law Firm, a full services law firm, expanding our expertise because you matter to us. And his expertise in family law, immigration law, wills and estate law, real estate and property law, and civil and criminal litigation. If you want to contact Fazan, please contact 905 277 2555. And you can check his own website as well, www.fazanlaw.firm as well. And you can also email him info@fazanlaw.com. And you can also check his Facebook and Instagram page too. My third sponsor for my show tonight is Mohammed Ramis, your Honda guy. If you want to buy any new or used car, Honda, please contact Mohammed Ramis. He works at Classic Honda, Brampton, dealership location 416-569-7249. Okay, before I move to introduce my today's panel, I would like to give some background introduction about my guest and panelists as well. Starting from Farooq Siddiqui, he's founder and CEO of Sports Trend. He moved to North America 2 decades ago and now supporting local cricket in Canada, especially at GTA table cricket. My other guest is Sajaduddin as a profession. He's a professor in Centennial College and majors in environmental geoscientists and certified engineering technology as well. My another guest, Kaisa Chaudhary, he's a federal law enforcement officer. As a passionate cricketer, he has played in Pakistan domestic and as well in England South Asian League as well. In 2011, he also represented Saskatchewan and Manitoba in Canadian T20 National Eastern League as well. My third guest, Jeffrey Noel Freshwater. He born in Victoria, Australia and moved to Canada. As a profession, he is working for Town of Ajax. As a passionate about cricket, he played the highest level of cricket in Toronto and played for a few top clubs in Toronto, for example, Ajax. And my fourth guest for tonight is Wajad Faizan. As a profession, he's a barrister and solicitor, licensed with Law Society of Ontario. Academically, he holding 2 law degrees issued in United Kingdom, an honors bachelor degree in law and master's degree in oil and gas. My last guest for my show tonight is Sultan Khan. As a profession, he owns RSEC Sports, a Canadian owned and operator which specializes in cricket equipment and custom apparel based in GTA. He is also an IT consultant and have been consulting in North America for more than 15 years. Impressive. As passionate cricketer, he's been playing cricket since 11 years of age, starting from Pakistan, then different state in USA, and since 2014, he's been playing different clubs in GTA. Currently represent Mississauga Ramblers Cricket Club, one of the biggest and oldest club in Toronto, as well as Brampton Pacers, which participate in BDCL and MCL. So, guys, I will not take a minute and just introduce all of my guests right now. Oh, great panel. Hey, Martin.
Hey.
So, Martin, definitely I will give you your introduction as well for my future episodes for sure. Okay. So,
sounds good.
Sounds good. But definitely, I will welcome to the show, Jeffrey, Sultan by Wajad Faizan and Martin.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
And yes, one of my favorite Kasser.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Kasser, are you feeling cold?
I'm missing the cup.
Oh, okay. Same here. Same here. Same here.
We're all missing the cup. We don't have the Sports Trend cup.
Yeah, we all brought the other cups. Oh, here you
go.
Yeah, and a few people are missing the hoodies.
Yeah, these cups are for as protest.
I think there's I tell you, there's
Martin,
Martin
yesterday we missed
missing
you,
the
eh?
World Cup as well, so don't worry about it.
Well, then, Jeff, Martin will have to do something else to protest.
Yeah. No, we missed Martin yesterday. England
Yeah, we missed
were playing so good.
We have to talk about football instead as our
Mhm.
program.
Oh, we can talk about
Sure.
it. We can touch base. That's definitely yes. I think I noticed Jeff is wearing Manchester United T-shirt, right, Jeff?
Yeah. Well, I've got an English one somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So this is
I
the
saw-
second best thing I had. So
I saw that and it made me get my scarf out.
Oh, Leeds
Oh,
United.
no.
Martin, what was the name of that striker who used to play for Leeds United? He was I think, Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane, yeah, he
Robbie
had a good
Keane,
few
yeah.
years for Leeds.
My
Yeah.
team played only one season and they were relegated, eh? The
Mhm.
Reddings.
Oh,
I used to live in Reading for 5 years.
Yeah.
so Martin, are you still supporting Leeds United? I think they were relegated way back a decade. I think.
Now, I'm not going to say that I stopped supporting them when they went down, but suddenly I've started supporting them again. Now they're back in the Premier League.
you just weren't as vocal, Martin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's switch our gears to cricket, if you guys don't mind, right? Yes, we should share some other activities and hobbies as well, but that's good to hear that Jeff is supporting Manchester United, same as when I'm growing up. I always supported Manchester United till today because of David Beckham. And yes, because the way they play. Okay, so let me start with Martin. Martin, you were not here yesterday. Tell me about I think last week when we talking about who's best, Kane Williamson or Virat Kohli, we missed the name Joe Root. Do you think that the way he scored, he never scored like a small 100. He always, whenever he crossed 3 digits, he tried to hit a big 100, and yesterday he proved it. So can you share some insight?
Yeah,
on Joe
I mean, Joe Root's been struggling recently to get to 100. I think he's got like 50 half centuries or something like that. It's crazy, but he hasn't been getting over the mark to 100. So yesterday was fantastic to see a big double century from him because it's been a while. You know, when at the start of his career, I think I was reading that he was averaging over 100 in the first innings of tests, and that's when you need to score your runs, right? You need them right at the start of the game. So it's good to see him kind of return back to his form. I don't know. I mean, he's a little bit behind Kohli and Williamson, I think, based on the last 3 years. Maybe the first 4 years of his career, he was up there just as good. I mean, they're all fantastic players. So I think they're all in the same band of skill. You've got maybe those 4 or 5 players that are up there as some of the best players in the world. Can he replicate it? Can he keep it going? Right, like that's the challenge for him. I mean, this year he's got like something silly like 15 test matches against India home and away, Australia away. If he can make this the year that he's back to form, he's going to cash in on a lot of runs. So that's going to be fascinating to watch.
I think that will help him a lot, like in a bigger, he's an excellent, he's a very good player. But that will gonna give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and I think it's good that he's quite good against spin. So I think it's going to be good to have a few series here. Sri Lanka is kind of a warm up before the India series and get into a bit of form instead of going straight into playing India. So I think it can only help really.
Sure. Okay. So let's start. Oh, Jeff is on the call. So Sajjad bhai, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
So what do you think about? I mean, yesterday when we were talking, I already made my opinion. Right, this test match is going one-sided, but the way Sri Lankan batted. I mean, first talk about England batting. Let's take some input about England batting from everyone. Then we can talk about Sri Lankan batting. Okay? Yes, Sajjad.
Yeah, I think that it's so. One of the things I enjoyed listening to from the Australians yesterday is how they target the captain in their last 3 years. So Joe Root in the Ashes, I think it was Mendes. No, who's the captain? Chandimal. When Sri Lanka came over last year, it was Azhar Ali and Williamson. If you notice that if the captain bats well, a team generally does very well if it's a batting captain. And I think that what Joe Root did is he basically showed that he can alone carry his team. Only 2 other guys really scored, or 3 other guys scored, and they didn't score that big. 200 is big for one player, and that was amazing. But I do want to touch on what Martin said, that he's been struggling to convert his 50s into 100s for a while now. So this was really good for him, and I think this bodes well for the England series. In terms of the Sri Lankan response, they batted beautifully. I think they were what, 90 or something for no loss, and the wickets that they did lose, like one of them was a slash outside the off stump over point that should have been a little more controlled. It would have been a 6 or a 4. I think Sri Lanka, if they can remove the deficit with the loss of only 1 or 2 more wickets, maybe they can give some stress to England.
Okay, so Sultan, Jeff, are you free right now? Oh, I think you are mute.
Yeah, no, that was the Australian head coach. He wanted to talk to me about what to do next, so had to take it.
Okay, so ask him to wait a couple of minutes. Let's talk about first Sri Lanka and England. Then he can join us even if he wants to. Okay.
Leave him on the line.
Yeah, I'll put him on hold. It don't matter. Well, actually, yeah, they're batting well, the Sri Lankans at the moment. Like Tufa, day 3 gone. We talked about the other day. I think when you guys talked that they were a bit underdone because they'd played so much cricket, and maybe the couple of days off have recouped them. So, I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as we thought. I think they've sort of ground in and maybe got a little bit of a tongue talking by the head coach in the dressing room and said, "Look, you got to stand up for your country right here. This is terrible. Be accountable." And it looks like they are. They're batting well at the moment, so we'll have to see. So,
yeah, it's crucial day, isn't it, today in both test matches?
Yeah,
like both test matches.
Whoever bats well today, Sri Lanka have got a chance of saving the game. India, are really going to have to bat long to save the game as well, right? If they can bat and meet the same. It's interesting for England because their first innings they didn't bowl that well. Sri Lanka batted very badly. And it seems like the pitch at Galle is not deteriorating particularly fast. It looks pretty docile, like pretty easy to bat on for most of them. So
if Sri Lanka get 150 in front, really ground out, it could be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're only not over yet, I don't think.
They're only 130 behind. Yeah, they're only
130 behind, and it's still like 8 wickets left.
And Sri Lankan, the bowlers, their spinners. Was it Fernando? Did you see how he bowled? Like on the last day on this day, he's bowling beautifully. Mm-hmm. And if they get Root early, all of a sudden Sri Lanka could knock them over if they get 150 or 200 ahead.
Yeah, it's not over by a long shot, I don't think.
No, that Sri Lanka can win this game even after being bowled out for 135 in the first. See, this is why Test cricket is beautiful. It's like a wonderful long series with ebbs and flows, like a story arc. You watch a drama or a theater, you see the ebbs and flows of the story. That's what Test cricket is about.
5 days of magic, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of cup of tea and lunch break. So everyone tells me.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not over till day 5, right?
Yeah.
Like the
last who's in? It looks like Farooq Bhai is lost.
Yeah. Farooq Bhai, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I think you're mute.
Everybody.
Yeah, we're all waiting for our coffee mugs, by the way.
I'm a married man, so I like to stay mute.
So for the record, Farooq Bhai, we all brought these mugs as a protest.
As a protest.
See, you know what? Nice. There are 3 important people in the world. If they're on your side, they're doctors, you're lawyers. So I got my lawyer on my side.
You missed another one too. It's always gonna be booked in.
I thought your mother-in-law was in there.
And guys, again, whatever protest you are doing, just remember that we are like law enforcement officer is right in front of us as well. So Kasabai, question to you. What do you think about England batting? I think they collapsed after Joe Root scored 220. Even like we were expecting, because England tail, that's the only tail I think in my opinion in current playing nations, test playing nation, that they are the best tail, that they always score big. But yesterday they collapsed. What do you think?
Absolutely. When Martin was saying, and I kept myself not to saying that, like Sri Lankan came back pretty well after losing on first day or two, and they came back well. They got rid of them very quick. I was thinking like if England is able to score about 525, everybody thought like they were gonna do and bat a lot, like bat long and pile up a lot of scores. But I think that's a part of their batting too. Like they came back well with the bowling, and that's supporting them in the batting as well, give them a bit of confidence. And Sajad Bhai is absolutely right. If they got a 150 plus target for England to bat on a 5th day track, it'll be interesting. And that's the beauty of Test cricket. It's we all want the Test cricket go to the 5th day, the last session. Still, all 3 results are possible: winning, losing, and the draw.
Yeah, as you guys know that I'm on this this trend during lockdown of watching Pakistani dramas. Test cricket is like a Pakistani drama. You don't know who she's gonna marry until the last episode.
Okay, let's move back to Sultan Khan, Sultan Bhai. I mean, yes, you are right that Pakistani dramas, at least they have an ending, and like similar, unlike Indian drama, like they have every time they have a new episode. Yes, Sultan Bhai, what do you think about the way Sri Lanka started off their batting?
Well, they're definitely keeping the interest alive. They bounced back very well. Apparently, for the first 2 days, it was going one side, but I think we have to give credit to Sri Lanka how they bounced back and brought themselves back into the game. Yes, Test cricket is like a pendulum, like it's going both ways, and I don't know which way it's going to swing towards the end. But yeah, definitely, it's now more interesting, and like everybody has touched, like about 200. If they give them a chase of 200 and so, and the way they've balled the last sessions, Sri Lanka, I think it's anyone's game then. And I think it has something to do with the pitch too, because it's not supporting bowlers that much. So it's a batting wicket. So yeah, Sri Lanka, it came on easy for them when, of course, they mentally focus on it to come back. And of course, it's home series, so they have to definitely play with all their heart out. So looking good. I mean, it's gonna be interesting watch for the next 2 days.
So let's move to Faizan. Faizan, what do you think about, like, is this test match going to have some result, or is this like going to draw after the way third day performed, like the great comeback from Sri Lanka in bowling as well and then batting as well?
Yeah, Max, as we were all discussing, day 3 seems to be the moving day, as they call in Test cricket. Day 3 usually is the moving day in all forms of all Test matches you see these days in the world. I am of a different opinion. I think onus is still on Sri Lanka than on England, because Sri Lanka still has 130 runs to survive. And don't forget, Sri Lankan spinner Tom Bess in 10 overs in the first innings was able to rip off 5 of the Sri Lankan batting line, right? So this could still vamp out the same as it was on day 1 for Sri Lanka. One good partnership, one good opening stand does not mean that England has to take all the pressure in this game. I still believe the onus is on Sri Lanka to keep going with the same momentum. They sent out a night watchman yesterday, which I think was just to kill off the day, but I think Chandimal, likes of Angelo Matthews, they will have to stand up big if they want to enforce a result in this series, in this match. And I also feel if Sri Lanka is able to go stretch their batting to maybe somewhere around lunch on somewhere early around lunch day 5, England would be jittery. Playing 2 sessions with 60 overs to go, chasing 120, 130 even, England could be jittery. Don't forget what happened with that great England team that faltered against Pakistan in 2012-11, chasing 110, 120, 140.
And they bowled out.
And they were bowled out with 70 for no loss, and then bowled out for less than 140. So I still feel that Sri Lanka has to keep going with the same spirit. And we will see probably around lunchtime tomorrow on day 4 where the test match is going.
Sure. Before I ask Martin to speak on the England bowling, I want to tell all of my viewers that you can watch our show live on YouTube, live on Facebook as well, and you can ask any questions. And definitely, I will take to my panelists as well. And you can also watch live our show on IPTV Sports Trend TV channel as well, and you can watch broadcast this recording for this show every night 9 o'clock and next day 9 o'clock in the morning. So, Martin, what do you think? I mean, I was looking.
Max, sorry, before you go to Martin, I got a feedback for you. Yesterday, I got a call from Pakistan, and
Okay.
somebody was watching the Sports Trend live on YouTube there early morning. And they were really appreciating the effort to encapsulate the cricketing world under the pandemic times. So hats off to you and Sports Trend for managing all this.
Thank you, Vajat Fazan, and thanks everyone that they are part of our show, regular show. So back to Martin. Martin, what do you think? Why Broad is not bowling more overs? Because I think Land Board already bowled 60 plus overs, and he just bowled 8 overs. I mean, normally he's the one that who always bowl a long spells. I really want you to speak on Broad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was watching him in the first innings, and he was finding it very difficult in the heat to actually bowl long spells. So I think they are trying to save him a bit. I mean, you saw what happened with. I mean, it wasn't even a new ball; it was just a change of ball to something a bit less out of shape, and suddenly Fernando picked up 2 wickets with some swing out absolutely nowhere. So I think they're going to kind of use him sparingly until they can. And until there's new balls available and he can hit it hard for a few overs, because it's quite hard to sustain bowling in those temperatures, really. I mean, especially if you're bowling at pace. I don't know. They've been kind of sitting around for the last few months, so maybe it's hard to keep up, maintain that level of intensity. But I mean, for me, we've still got a lead of 130, so you're still sitting pretty happy. That the challenge for Sri Lanka will be time. I mean, it's been raining every day. In the afternoon, it seems like there's always a storm that comes through and knocks out a bit of the last session. So how can they get ahead enough to be confident enough to declare? And I think that will be the challenge. Because if you're the home side, you're probably thinking, well, I'd rather leave with a draw than a loss in the first test, given where we started. So it may be a challenge to get ahead enough with the amount of time left in the game.
Sure.
But yeah, that's great. It's going to be really interesting to watch. That's what we want to see.
Okay. Before I take, I have some few comments for you guys for the show. Okay. Hamadin Akbar. Hamadin, welcome to the show. Sorry guys, can't come today. I was doing nets with my dad and got hit right in belly and can't even sit. Okay.
Get well soon.
Sounds painful.
Get well soon, and Hamadin Akbar, please come. Your comments always valuable for the show as well, and get well soon. And make sure that you got selected in for under 19 as well. So Jafi Samar, job well done, Mazhar Jafi. Thank you, sister. Okay, OS Khan, Sri Lanka. Okay, so Vajat Fazan, there's the comment you were mentioning about England and Pakistan series. Sri Lanka don't have Saeed Ajman and Abdul Rahman. Yes.
But I believe that the Sri Lankan conditions even favor their left arm spinner in Buldania, because it's not about who you have on the other end. I can certainly imagine that plays role, but it's the pressure. It's only and only pressure that gets to your mind, and we have seen it. England could not stand anything tall other than Joe Root's inning. I was expecting England to go past 550 yesterday, and you see the lower order, except for Broad, maybe nobody got in double figures. So Sri Lanka may look at that as an option, as a ray of hope, but I think it's still a long way for themselves to work on. I was just looking at the full scorecard, and I could see that they really would need to have some sort of solidity in the middle order in order for them to surpass England with more than 150 lead.
I just want to add on whatever Fazan said. We were talking about the positives of Sri Lankan cricket, because we criticized Sri Lanka on day 1 and 2 a lot. So the positive was that they came very well. Obviously, they have to apply themselves, and they have to get. They're not safe yet. They have to get rid of 150 plus runs to get back in the game, to be a competitive. So absolutely, yes. But as I said, we are just taking and appreciating their positives for the last day.
Mazhar, one final small comment on this, and I was just looking at this. 61 overs gone. If I'm England, I'm looking at the first session, which is 1 hour, 12 overs there, and then right after 7 overs, I get the new ball. So whether I'm able to chip off the Sri Lankan team within that next 30 overs, that's what the key will be for England. That's what I'm saying. strategists matter, and that's how strategy will go in.
Sure. Jeff, what do you think about the role of spinners in current test matches? Now I think test matches is totally handled by fast bowlers. Do you think the lack of spin bowling overall, other than I think we don't have much spinners right now, other than Ashwin or any other big names? I don't see any big names.
No, but with T20, it's bringing spinners on. Like, look at Zampa. But they're not giving him an opportunity either. But Lyon's bowling great, so where are you going to slot him in? And we talked about, Sultan talked about, we're talking about the drop-in pitch, and we're talking about day 5's not a factor anymore. I think these pitches they're creating now, because maybe the groundsmen are getting better and holding the pitch longer, the spinners have to change their game. It's not like it was for them 5 or 6 years ago, or like Warney on the 5th day was turning it square, and Lyon could turn it square. So I don't know. It's the wickets that's killing them, not the cricket. And the bowlers are getting quicker. They're getting more variety. Like the IPL T20 is changing the game for the better, of course. The hitters, the batters are getting better. The bats are getting wider. The big hits, like they're doing. Oh, we just got a wicket, by the way. So, the game's changed. Like the sixes they hit these days without any effort, it's all because of the wood in their hand, right? And quicker hands. Don't get me wrong, the techniques are better and different. So, but the game's changed so much. Is that a good enough answer for you, Max?
I would like to add something on this one, because the spinners, if you look into it, like right now, we're watching Test cricket, right? So the spinners' role in a Test match and a T20 is very, very different.
Yep.
One day in T20, they have to push the ball. So like right now, all the spinners, you will see the Rashid Khan on the top, and the other person also from Afghanistan, and they are all really pushing. Mujib. They are pushing. They push the ball.
Even Zampa.
They don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shadab.
Shadab is same.
Yeah, even in Pakistan, what's his name, Shadab, they don't give air, right? In the Test match, you have to be slow down and use the wicket. T20 is all about saving the runs and get the wicket. So I think that's one of the reasons that people are not paying more attention for the spinners in Test matches.
And I want to add on the same point.
Sure.
I was shocked as a cricketer, understanding a bit of cricket. I was shocked on 5th day, the last test between India and Australia, that I have not seen any ball bowled from 80 kilometers to 85 kilometers from Nathan Lyon, and I was kind of surprised. He's a spinner. He has to give more air to buy something out of that track.
Okay. Before I jump in, I want to switch my gears from Gaul to Brisbane as well. But I have a very interesting question, and I want Kasserbhai, Sajjad, and Faizan to answer this. Sonam Dorji Lama, welcome to the show. Thanks for giving comments and watching our show. Please share, like, and keep commenting. So she's saying, with so much talent, why isn't Pakistan the best bowling lineup in the world? Quickly, Kasserbhai, Sajjad, Faizan, whoever can start. And Farooq Bhai if you can, and Sultan Bhai if you can too, please.
You want me to start?
Yes, sir.
I
Anyone, whoever have the, XYZ.
So go ahead, Sajjad.
Okay, number one, you need to bowl with a brain. So that's something that we
What
don't
does
do
that mean? What does that mean, Sajjad bhai?
in Pakistan cricket. We don't bowl
right
with
from the heart, man.
we don't bowl with a plan. If you look at other teams, they seem to have a plan for the batsmen. Pakistan players, they have some of the best bowling ability sometimes, but there's no plan. So the brain, they have to start focusing with the brain. That's my first comment. Number two, at times we lack in fitness. Not all the time, but at times it seems like we lack in fitness. You'll see that our performance over the years, especially in T20 with the bowling, has been really, really good. But in the test match, we didn't really see it translate. Whereas back when Misbah had them focused on fitness, we had a pretty good bowling attack in the heat of the Abu Dhabi. And also, let's give credit to Misbah, whether you agree with him or not. When they're bowling with a plan, even 140 runs, they can make it look like a mountain. Recently, they haven't been bowling with their brains. That's what it looks like.
Before I ask Kasserbhai to comment, but at least Sonam have a brain and she asked a very good question. Yes, Kasserbhai.
I want to add on Sajad, whatever Sajad mentioned. I want to add on that you have to see that the era of a car double W's, Shoaib Akhtar, Asif, it's quite long, 15 to 20 years, and to break into Pakistan national team was the hardest thing. And I tell you, that plays a role too for whoever's watching those kids growing up, and to not to be able to find a space there, that can get your mind and brain to saying that not putting your efforts in, and that's where we lacked, I believe. And then obviously a couple of sad incidents with Asif and Amir, it hurt. And now I can see uh, Pakistan National Academy was unable to pick the good bowlers, the pacey. It's, I believe, the reaching out to the lower level. But I'm looking like as Rauf came in and Hasnan came in, and Naseem Shah as well. So
Sure.
it's coming back to the normal again, hopefully.
Okay. Yes, Sultan bhai. Then
Sultan
Fajad,
bhai.
I will come to you.
Yeah, Sultan bhai.
Yeah, I think look at
Quickly,
this.
quickly.
Yeah, so the simple is that I think the old people in the era which were the best of the bowlers in Pakistan, they were not just the best bowlers, they were strong personalities as well. And they never were scared to express themselves with aggression. I think these youth that has come in has a lot of talent, but I think somewhat they're trying to control their brains and do according to what is said to them, and that is confusing these young boys. But they do have talent. They have to be given some liberty to go express and ball with some aggression and try something here and there out of the box. That's
Sure.
what I
Yes,
would say.
Fajad Faizan, then I will
I
move
think
to.
my opinion lies very much with what Sajad said. Brains. A fast bowler needs to have his own brain first, then what is fed to him by the coaching and the other staff. Number two, the exposure. Unfortunately, Pakistan cricket is not having the level of same exposure as India and Australia and England and New Zealand is having. See where New Zealand nurtured their cricketers. The exposure. They were playing repeatedly one after the other. So if Pakistan plays the similar or same level of cricket in terms of consistency with England, Australia, New Zealand, West Indies, you would see their bowlers expressing very well amongst the top 50 wicket takers every year. There might be around 35, 40, 45 wicket takers. So I believe it's a combination of both strong personality, your own game sense awareness. Like Naseem Shah, you see in New Zealand, he was not even touching 140. I mean, just running in and bowling 138, 135 length is not your game, man. Come on.
Sure.
That's what
Okay.
it needs to go into the background work, like strategists we were talking about, 2-over burst, 4-over burst, and get your name out.
I just
Sure.
want to add on. Sorry, I just want to add on what Faizan said. I really, everybody has to see that Pakistan was unable to play a cricket at home from 10 to 12 years. It's
Yeah.
a huge, huge backlash. It's. I am wondering, like, even Pakistan made it to be a competitive team at international level. It's a huge success, in these time. And I guarantee you, not even a single team on international scenario can survive that. So don't take that out of whatever the guys are doing right now. It's just like, yes, we need some more cricket, more homegrown cricket,
And more test cricket as well.
more test cricket.
More
Yes,
test cricket.
thank you.
So
I think
Sure.
that's very sad when Azhar Ali said, I have a soft spot for Azhar Ali. Everybody knows that. I love that guy. He represents us, the best of our society. But he said that he had never played a test match, and he's like a veteran now. Only till recently he played a test match.
Yeah.
That was very sad to hear. At
Okay.
home, at home.
At home. Okay,
I
let's
really
move.
would like to get the same comments from Jeff and Martin. Then I'll have that 2 cents.
Hey,
I was just reading that clip you had down there from Oasis Khan there about why aren't you picking the T20 boys for the test team? It's a different game, right?
Yeah.
That's the avenue to come into getting experience and getting into the big game, as it would say. Like test cricket's totally different. You really got to have a good mindset. You really got to, you watch Hazelwood bowling here. He's bowling with a plan. He's thinking every ball. He's just not running in and slamming it into the pitch like you do in T20. It's a different game. You got to get experience, and your mind's got to grow up so you can play the game test arena.
Yeah, I just want to add not much to the question. Just say thanks to Sonam for asking it. He's a buddy of mine, so I play cricket with him. and he's a good cricketer. Plays in Toronto, and he's got a good cricketing brain. So he's always thinking about the game. So just want to say thanks for sending in the question.
Thank you.
Totally.
Thank you so much.
Sultan, add to this question, or is
I
Sultan
think he already
reply?
did it. Sultan already.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
my reply is I interviewed this morning two gentlemen, two actually national players from Pakistan. They're the coach of Sindh team in the province, Ghulam Ali and Zafar Iqbal, and also the captain of the Sindh second team. And we talked about the process and all that, and they were saying the same thing. Is because people, the process, right? Nobody wants to go through the whole process to becoming a better batsman or better bowler. They just wanna do a dynamic performance and get selected into PSL. Nobody's really care about going into 4-day or test matches. And the one thing among the captain, the young guy, he pointed out, he said like it's very important to get education sent him as a cricket.
Yeah.
You can come and Wasim Akram and everything. When they came, Wasim Akram was 17, but he never left the education. Also, like he do parallel, he continued his education. So I think to be a smart bowler, you have to be a little bit educated and a smart person too. So I think that was a very valid point from both of them.
It's interesting you bring that up. The journey in becoming a seasoned professional sometimes is as important and as beautiful, and should be emphasized. It's like the hero's journey from the Joseph Campbell books.
I know, Max, you have to go forward, but I think Farooq Bhai has really opened the Pandora boxes here.
But yes, but thank you, Sonam, for asking a good question. Uwais Khan is commenting like Haris Roof done 456 total balls in first class and he's selected for test. Uwais Khan, before you ask question, I have a question. How many balls Tabish Khan bowled in first class before he get a test debut? Okay, let's move on to Brisbane. Jeff.
I think Rameez Rafiq is saying also something from Karachi. Did we see?
Okay, let me take some few.
All the love to Rameez Rafiq.
So Uwais Khan is saying, I am watching your show, sir, as well in Pakistan. Thank you. Rameez Rafiq, he's one of our sponsors. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, everyone. Love from Karachi. So see, in pandemic, he's traveling. I mean, good luck. And Rameez, when you get back, please do not call me for 14 days. Okay. Okay. So starting from Jeff, Brisbane. Yesterday, whole day, wipe out. Let's move out the rain aspect. How do you rate how the Australian ended up their inning? We were expecting that they would score big, but they did not. But India batted started, and then Rohit Sharma. I mean, he's already said the ground that he will score a big, but again a reckless shot.
But Rohit Sharma's playing his game, right? He likes to be aggressive. He likes to take it to the bowlers. He doesn't want to be controlled, right? If he had those two, that one he went out from pulling, if he had to hit that from 4, everyone would have said great shot. Again, he tried an aggressive shot, didn't come off for him. That's his game. Warner's the same. Matty Hayden was the same. He was an aggressive opening bat. Gordon Greenwich was aggressive opening bat. No one said anything when he made a duck. No one said anything when he went out for 40, but when he made an aggressive 150 for the Windies, everyone said he's a great opener. So you know what? He's just playing his game. I think India closed it down a little bit yesterday. They wanted to prolong the game because really they've only got to play for a draw. They don't have to prove anything in this test match. And we talked about it yesterday about Australia, being aggressive throughout the whole 5 days. So, they batted slowly this morning just to consolidate. And now they're starting to push some runs now. So, they want to bat deep, they want to bat long, and they want to bat it into a draw for sure.
So, Martin, do you think the draw will help Australia to make sure that they draw the series, or do you think they will go for the win?
Well, they've got to go for the win, I think. I mean, there's nothing to gain from drawing this match for Australia. They won't get the trophy back. It'll also make their, I was reading that if they don't win this match, then they have to beat South Africa in South Africa to get to the final of the World Test Championship, if anyone really understands how that works. But it leaves them a real uphill challenge. I mean, they have to go for the win. 3 days left. How much will rain affect it? Who knows? At the current rate, they need to get India out as soon as possible. I mean, 369 wasn't the biggest score, but in the context of this series, it's quite a big score.
Now,
So
on that, is that like that stuff's not calculated? You know, like this is a hinging test, and they have 2 days of rain. Australia can't win it, they draw it, but now they lose all their points and they slide out because of weather conditions. Like I get the point system, but there's got to be a factor. I go, well, hang on, weather was here. We've got to give. I'm not saying the Aussies should get a freebie. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you have some countries like New Zealand that rain a lot, and places like that.
So
And
Keshav, I first, yes, Ajat, go ahead.
So also something to keep in mind is then they'd have to, if they don't win this test, they might have to win 2-1 against South Africa, and they might shift the South African series to Perth to play in the 2 stadiums there. And South Africa has a wonderful record in Perth.
Correct.
is that really on the cards?
That might be the backup plan because of the virus, because it's
Oh.
taking a long time to get the vaccine rolled out. So
Mhm.
the only country who's doing a good job of that is Israel, and they don't play much cricket.
Yeah, I think the rain is definitely benefiting India, and they just need to draw this match, and they'll be happy with it. But question I have it for Jeff. Jeff, why did they decide to go play in Gaba in January, where they know that
The monsoons.
it usually rains a lot
Yeah.
in January? Why not the first match here?
Well, they like to give everyone the test, right? They like Australia's a very fair country, and saying, like they moved all the Aussie rules up to Gabba too because of the virus. But I agree, but the problem is, you know what? If Australia's good enough, they've got to beat them. It doesn't matter where you play them. If India come over here and beat us, tie us, then they're the better country. Like, we shouldn't be losing anything at home. Doesn't matter where we play. Doesn't matter what month it is. It's our home ground. Like, Brisbane's our ground. It's not their ground. It doesn't
With that
matter if we play
bowling
them there in
attack-
January or play them in March or April. Who cares?
With that bowling attack, Australia should be winning every game at home. That's how I feel. I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
it's a
you know
good
what,
attack, man.
yeah, I mean that's some legendary bowling there.
Okay. Before I go to Keshav bhai, I'm just floating a question, and then because I asked a question Gavaskar and I see he answered, and then I have a question for all of you as well. We can take an answer after 20-25 minutes. So he said Tabish Khan done 27,006 or 7 balls in 137 matches and with 598 wickets. So Jeff and Martin, we are talking about that guy who's going to debut against South Africa, and he had bowled 27,000 balls in first class cricket in Pakistan, and he took 598 wickets, and I think he's one of, sorry,
I want to ask a question. So, how strong is Pakistan cricket, and who did he get his wickets against? Right, I know.
First class.
Farooq bhai,
Yeah.
you're mute, Farooq bhai.
I can answer that. He has
Yes,
been playing for last almost 12 to 13 years, and he has bowled against all the players who had played for Pakistan team, and very strong domestic structure. So it's just not like some Ajax player or Missad or Brampton player.
What do you mean? What are you saying
What
about
do you
me?
mean? Kassim bhai is talking about you, not me. Kassim bhai is talking about you.
I'm just kidding.
Tired.
I'm just kidding. But no, he is a very decent bowler, and all the the people who played, he should have been played about 8 to 9 years ago when he was like, now he's like I think 35 or 36.
Yeah,
And
he's
you
But it
are
was very political back then, though, right?
political, and it was very strongly headed by some skippers were really strong, and they run the team the way they want, and some boards were really the board is always very strong in Pakistan, especially. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of people can choose, and the people they really want. But now I feel it's good that he got national call, but he's 35, 36. He's playing his test in Pakistan. But the second thing is like his name came under 20 players, and they're gonna cut down 4 players. So I'm not
definitely.
sure that he'll make that 16. If he makes the 16, it's pretty good. And then you'll talk about the last 11.
And I think stats support him definitely. But Farooq bhai, this question would be for you. That
Sure.
how about his character and his team player skills? Because that probably could have been one of the aspects why he's not picked or liked by people.
Sure, he's an amazing character, very humble, down to earth, a genuine. He's like a fast bowler. He's like a medium pace, but he bowls line, length, swing, all the things you want. Right, very good character, but it's a very few political things, some regional stuff. So he just never got the favoritism. He got so he couldn't be a blue eye boy for anybody. But now,
like Naseem Shah. Okay.
now who?
Naseem.
Shah, yeah, I mean, the way Shoaib Akhtar called it, Naseem is no seam. So
No seam.
I just want
You
to
know
add
what?
on.
There's only
I just
11
want-
spots. That's the problem.
I
Look at
think-
Look at Darren Berry 20 years ago. Was one of the better keepers in Australia and couldn't crack anything.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I think,
I don't know
I
what
don't
a-
think he'll
what a-
get a spot. Hassan Ali and Shaheen Shah with probably Haris Rauf may just pull in.
no, I think just Hassan Ali and Shaheen Shah. That's probably in Pakistan. You don't want more than two seamers
And then two spinners, yeah.
and two
Okay.
spinners.
I want to add on
Martin.
what
Yes,
Farooq
yes.
said. That's another disappointment I see. I have been through and keeping a close eye on domestic structure and the coming out of the names from domestic cricket. If you see that a bowler has bowled 27,000 plus balls, you already took away a lot from him. I have no idea. That's where I think the national NCA has been failing from so long, that you have to pick the talent right from this start go, and you have to polish them. You cannot let them bowl again and again in the nets and go from nowhere. That's kind of very sad.
Yeah,
Before
I think they may go with another medium pacer. The reason I'll share it in the session when we have it. But
Sure.
remind me, Max, and I will bring it
Sure,
up.
I will do that. Before welcome Amir, welcome to the show.
Is
Thank
that
you.
Amr? I could not
Before-
recognize him.
I could
Well,
not.
Are you in the
recognize
car,
him.
man? He's freezing his
Yeah,
butt off by the look of it.
I was looking like I know this guy, but who is this? Is it Ijaz?
Oh no, it's Amir. Amir,
Me.
give me a minute.
He's
Okay,
doing a
give me a minute.
drive-by.
I have a question from Martin and Jeff. Jeff, Martin, can you name two players in your in England domestic cricket that they deserve a test recall and they never get it? Like, just take an example. Tabish Khan, he bowled that 27,000 balls. Do you have any example? Any two players in your domestic that you know the names and they never get recognition? Good question. Good answer, Westphal. Yes, Martin. Do you know any?
Yeah,
name?
there's a batsman that batted from Somerset, James Hildreth, who he's probably got 10,000 runs in county championship cricket, but never gets selected. Depends where you play. Some of the grounds are easier than others, right? So there's some really promising batting grounds. It's always dangerous to pick just off the scene of first class cricket. I mean, look at some of the players that have come in and not quite made it because of that. So I'd say he's probably one of the first example I think of. And there's a lot of bowlers as well that don't get the same opportunities. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the pace bowlers, but
Sure. Yes, Jeff. Any name on top of your mind?
Yeah, I said it before. Darren Berry. I actually I played against Darren Berry in England actually when I was over there.
Oh.
I had him out, but they dropped him. I was not happy. But yeah, he was good. He was a good keeper, good bat, but it's just no room for him, and he just didn't get an opportunity. Of course, he's a Victorian too, where I'm from, so that's why he's got to be there. And the other one was, oh my God, he batted for Victoria, number 3. Oh gosh, he played IPL and he played T20 in Australia.
I just want to take a very quick moment
Yeah, I
because
can't
we
remember his
all
name.
in Canada. We all live in Canada. Do you guys in your personal level, not really, really personally, but do you think some Canadian player who played really, really well, but they never got a call for national team, despite their all performances?
Yeah,
But
you're
have
looking at him.
good performance, not just Milton Marvel's performance and going into the national side.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Yes.
So please, very quickly, just one or two name which you think really deserve but never got a call for national. Maybe just got a call one or two. Quickly, starting from Martin, Jeff, everybody,
In Canada.
or anyone.
I've been out of the scene for a long while, and the players I played with, there was a few that probably there's more players playing for Canada that I couldn't believe were playing for Canada,
Mhm.
and there was players I played against were amazing. How they didn't get a game back in '99, I couldn't believe it. It was very political back then. So yeah, there's 3 or 4 players in the Canadian team that I didn't know how they haven't got a red sweater on. To be honest with you.
Okay. Yes, from Milton Marvels.
There are tons. But I only know that I don't know if they were here back then, but some of them just got chance in the national team, so I can't say that I can't name them.
Mention those names. No, mention those names who never get a chance.
No, Naman just got. I think he got a call. He's part of one of the squad.
He's in a high performance. He's not.
Yeah, so but he's
still
very
young, right? He's very young. He has.
But that's how I think. That's how.
Other than Zahoor Butt, anybody, right? Other than Zahoor Butt, you can name anyone.
Zahoor Butt is a. Is Zahoor Butt, are you talking about the same Zahoor Butt, the president of MCL Cricket League?
Yeah,
and always posts good pictures. Love you, Zahoor Butt. Yes, Amir.
Well, I think Zahoor Butt is part of Cricket Ontario, isn't he?
No. So we don't want the administration. We just want the player.
Amir, you talking? Okay, no worries. Sajjad bhai.
I think Sajjad bhai, not to mention of one guy. I think I'm not gonna say why or he should have been or not, but I've seen him recently, and I've seen him. I think since 2014, I know this guy. I've seen him play in front of me, and his dedication, hard work. I mean, he's maintaining himself, fitness, everything. Asad Zadi. This guy has all the potential if they ever want to. I mean, because he's at a peak now, right now. If it's a time, this is the time for him. Otherwise, he would be end up one of the names.
Kaisar bhai, anyone?
I really have nothing on my mind right now.
Sure, no way.
Sajjad bhai.
I have 3 players. I have 3 players, and I open with all 3 of them: Rodrigo Thomas, Shahroz Shah, and Asad Zadi.
Okay.
Oh, he's already played, I think. Yeah, these are the guys that I played with that I think should be regular in the team.
Who's that? Who's that? Mississauga Dolphin kid? I think Fauzan. He's a batsman. Fauzan, right?
Farzan Murjalani.
Farzan.
Yeah. Yes. He's a nice kid, yeah.
He's just, I think he's just a little overweight. I think, but I think he deserves a chance in one of the high performance teams.
Yeah, he's a good talent. I mean, look, Farzan, like people are talking. Farzan, look, people are talking about you. Definitely, I will take this feedback. And yes, management is sitting right next to you both, Kaisar bhai and Farzan. Like, I'm nowhere in the management. I'm always speak, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so.
I want to name one person, and I think he's bowled really well. I've played against him. And as a sportsman, you need to admire talent whenever it is a display, even if it is against you. Taimur Mirza, I think, could be one who could be invited for the national high performance. So I found him to be a very good bowler, very nappy bowler.
Okay, sure. So Jeff, there's a question for you, Obaz Khan. Hi Jeff, who will be the replacement of Nathan Lyon? I think Nathan Lyon already played 100 Test matches. Maybe he can play.
He's gonna play another 100. He's gonna play another 100.
Sorry, Mike, that other guy I was talking about was Brad Hodge, by the way.
Oh, Brad Hodge. Yeah.
Like they just didn't even give him a fair go. Like he was a great bat. Nathan Lyon, well, it depends. They're going to throw Zampa in as a leg spinner. I think they should be giving him a go. Like they tried him and he's early and he was not ready. T20 in the 50 over match has matured him amazingly. And then there's is it Hagar? Is it the other spinner? He's got potential. But remember when Lyon come in? I think he's an offie. He's the same. He's very similar to Lyon, so a bit taller, and can bat too. I like Zampa, man. I would give him a go as a leggy. Maybe they should have thrown him into this test and seen that they've got nothing to lose. They've got to win it. So there's a lot there. There's a lot coming through. A lot of youngsters too in the IPL. So that's the feeding ground, I think. And then 4-day games and get them to get some experience, right? So Lyon's still got a lot. I think he's going to play 200 tests, 150 plus tests.
Okay, this friend of mine, Zubair Ali, he's saying, "Good show, Mazhar. Keep up the good work." But I just want to tell him, whenever Lyon is bowling, he always texts me or call me that, "Hey man, hey Max, I can hit 3 sixes in Lyons on 6 ball." So Zubair, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to comment on any more on that, but people knows. So Martin, Wes Khan is saying Jack Brooks from Yorkshire, most experienced bowler. I mean, do you know his name?
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy that's like 36 or so now as well. I mean, it's really tough. You've got 2 bowlers that have taken over 500 Test wickets between them, right? Like it's hard to break in with another medium pace bowler that's he has never been given a chance. It's very hard. I mean, he's in there with a lot of other good bowlers, right? It's just, I mean, Brad Hodge didn't get a chance because they were better players, and he just never got there. So
okay, I want to take Amir's input on it. Amir yesterday was saying that rain will play a major role in this Test match, and your words were right. So, do you still believe that this Test match will be done by the rain?
I would think, I don't know what the score is because I'm outside. I haven't seen how
116 for 3. 116 for 3 right now, India.
So I think it's going to be a draw. The way Indians are playing right now, it's I don't see a result for this Test match. So it's going to be I guess the trophy would be shared between the 2 teams.
Okay, let me quickly take some last feedback. I have 5 to 8 minutes left. Wajad Fazan, let's start one question by question. Quickly, everyone, like what Australia needs to do in order to win this Test match? Quickly.
I think Australia needs to be very assertive. One thing cricket has taught us throughout is not to project the outcome very quickly. We saw that in the 3rd Test, what happened to the Australians. We were all saying Australia could win the Test match. So Australia needs to assert themselves into the game, and I think they are on course doing that. Whether the weather supports them and they keep on chipping up with wickets, I don't know. So only way Australia can pick up, if Australia can assert themselves, is by picking up quick wickets. Nathan Lyon needs to come in handy, and I think Stark is finding his rhythm. I've seen his first opening first day. He's finding his rhythm. I would still feel Australia would fight, even if it goes to the day 5 with 100 runs on the board. Australia would fight in order for India to be knocked out of this Test because they don't want to take it to South Africa series. Remember, the stakes are too high. The Test championship is on the verge here.
Sure. Yes, Kashabhai. Australia, what Australia needs to do to make sure that they are in the game?
I am really disappointed, as I said, from Australian bowling point of view. If you see, they open up again with Stark, and as soon as they brought Cummins, he got a wicket in his first over. They have to be quick in learning. I believe they missed the point. It might be, like as they knew that Rohit Sharma, he's an excellent stroke player, so they were afraid of his hitting, that they didn't bowl him in like 2 full bowls. So, but obviously they have to assert themselves. They have to improve in bowling and their lengths. Obviously, it's Australia to struggle to win this match or to get a result out of it for sure.
Yes, Sajjad. Sajjad?
I think they just have to keep doing what they're doing. I think they have to. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now.
Can you hear me?
But there's a lag behind it. Yeah.
Okay. So they just have to keep doing. They just have to keep doing what they're doing. I think as long as they keep chipping away and getting the wickets, knock them over for about 250, they'll be fine.
Okay. Yes, Sultan bhai, before I take Martin and Jeff comment on it.
Yeah, I think if Australia has any chance, they have to get them out before or at 250. Otherwise, that's going India way. So they have to be aggressive, and they have to be aggressive now. This is the time.
Okay. Yes, Martin?
I mean, I think, today's the day. They could knock India over for less than 200, and you're in the, and then they're in the box seat. I mean, the big question for Australia is, where does Mitchell Stark go? Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not, and if he's not on form, I think then they struggle a little bit. But they could easily knock India over here and be in a very strong position.
Sure. Yes, Jeff. Where is Mitchell Stark?
That's simple. They got to get 17 wickets to win it. Pretty simple. I just don't see him doing it. Mitch, and I don't think they should have played Stark. He's just not there. He wasn't there last test. He
Mm.
really hasn't. Like for a big swing bowler, he didn't swing the ball early yesterday. So and India are just playing patient. They're a good team for that. They're like we talk about thinking cricketers. India is one of the better thinking cricketing teams in the world. So they've got a plan out there. They're batting to it. If it's loose, they're going to take it to the boundary. If it's not hittable, they're going to leave it. If they've got to play it, they're going to play it with caution. You just watch them bat. They're batting very well. So unless Australia start doing something fancy with the ball, I can't see day 5 affecting anything. So
Okay. Yes, Farooq bhai, then Amir.
Okay. I'm not sure. Like, let's see how it goes because I can see still the ball is coming to like this to the Indian batsman. So there's a life in the pitch. It's just depending, if some of the previous captain, somebody can work on the ball and let it talk and swing. So that's how it goes.
sandpaper.
You have to learn from the bowler with the brain.
Farooq bhai, definitely, because Gaba has the most bounce as compared to any of the grounds, so that is given. But yes, it's day 3. It still has lots of
And then the point
bounces.
is, India is like about at least two batsmen short.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All
that's
their
true.
new players, they do not have that batting skills.
Sure. Okay. Yes, Amir. Quickly. Then I have a few comments. Then
Yeah, I
wrap
think
it up.
I think all of these guys have said the same thing. I think Australia needs to bowl them out cheaply now and focus on getting them out as early as possible so they can bat a little bit and then given the rain is going to come next day, they have to make sure that they are giving a competitive target to India and bowl them out again. That's all they need. For India, I think Ajinkya Rahane hasn't lost a test match yet as a captain, right, in his career. So I think he has captained 5 test matches. He's drawn 1 and won 4. So that's, I don't know if he's gonna go for a win, but I think he's gonna definitely go for a draw for this one too.
Okay. Quickly, yes, guys. Starting from Wajad Faizan.
Okay, just one
Yes
second.
or no?
I have a question. There is somebody sent me a small video, and they want to know the answer. Probably you guys have seen this video before, but I just want to get everybody's expert opinion. So let's watch this.
Full bowl. Good appeal from deep cover from Tricky. Well, amazing. The bail.
So guys, is it out or not out? What is the
Not
ICC ruling says about it?
Let's take it from home of cricket first.
Not out.
No, I know the answer, so that's what I'm like.
No, Martin. I said.
Oh,
Oh,
I have seen that video before. It's from the Sanderstead Cricket Club. They have a lot of good clips.
So what do you guys say?
I can't remember at all. I would say it's out because it's out of the groove, but is it?
Yep. Jeff?
It says the law says the bail has to be dislodged.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's dislodged from the groove and it's broken apart from the
And it
stump.
has to be dislodged from both sides.
Both
Does
sides.
it? Okay, there you go.
Yes, not one side, both sides.
That's right.
It's not out.
But technically, the smaller parts of that bail are not into its lodgings.
Mm-hmm.
So and the wickets are separated, right? So I'm a bowler. I'm out. He's out. You're out of there. See you later. Yeah, I'm giving his margin.
What does the law say? Vajad, what does the law say?
But the law is clear. It needs to be dislodged completely. The last word is important. Completely. So
But here, so
But it
is
is
it
completely
dislodged from its?
dislodged, not both.
Let
Just
me
one.
finish.
Dislodged from its holdings, right?
let me
It's not in its original holdings.
let me finish. So completely means both bails need to be out, or one bail needs to be out of the stump.
Okay.
So, but I think you have a good point. Let's take it to Queensland High Court and get the interpretation from there.
Hey, you'll have to pay for my flight, but let's go.
I'll see you in that.
16 hours
I'll see you
back.
in that.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
As per my understanding of the rule, it should be the bails. Any of both should be out of the groove, and the bail was completely both sides were out of the groove. It should be out.
Okay.
Yes, Amir.
I don't think it's out. I don't think it's out. Even though I'm a bowler, I think it is not out.
Sajad bhai,
Okay.
I already said not out. I said it the minute you guys showed it.
Is there any official umpires in our panel?
Not yet. I'm going to
No.
get trained this year. I'm going to be signing up this year.
I'm calling on Siraj Musa, all those umpires out there. Please help us out.
Over the time, how much we have reasoned with GTA umpires, I think everybody has the same knowledge.
Okay, guys.
Okay, so
Okay,
we
guys,
will
there
get
is
answer tomorrow. So
sure.
there will be
Okay.
a special prize for the right answer.
Okay, the whoever say, I mean, this is a hint. Okay. So, okay.
And this one is just for Sultan, right? Sultan.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for my.
Okay, guys, there's a comment and question as well. I mean, Australia need to focus hard when they play against India after Pakistan, India playing like rivals against Australia. So I just want to say that leave few things on me and let me answer it. That Australia, I mean, again, yesterday as I said that Australia don't want to lose $1 million. Good night.